Hello everyone, a very good morning, good afternoon and good evening to all of the viewers from around the world. This is your host Vaibhav. In today's session of correlation and regression, we will be taking a look in the forex, the commodities and the equity space as well to see if there are any emerging opportunities. With the help of the correlation and the regression analysis, we will be analyzing the relative strength and the weaknesses of the various instrument in respect of the same trend. If it is bullish, then we will be comparing various bullish instrument, and if it is on the bearish side, then we will be figuring out which one is the stronger and the weaker in terms of the bearish momentum. So we will be simply comparing the same class of instruments to figure out the opportunities with the help of some time lag and with the help of moving average prices as well. So let us now head to the JForex for the newly released trading platform from the Dukascopy Bank SA. Yeah, this is the chart for the Euro USD drawn on the 5-minute candlestick time frame, but the range has been drawn with the 4 hourly time frame in mind, 4 hourly and 2 hourly, and these average prices are for 1 hour and 2 hour respectively. Now, this spurt which we are observing happened after the release of Federal, I think, New York manufacturing data. So, after that data release, we have this spurt in most of the USD currencies in which we have the momentum on the bullish side. If we go back in time to the start of the European trading session, there it started to climb, and that climb was quite fabulous. If you were a bullish trader, if you any of you had gone for a long trade, then you would have netted a lot of money. And even in afternoon session, after this consolidation, another leg of this upward momentum unfolded with gains of around 40 to 50 pips. Now the same momentum is pushing the Euro USD fairly close to 1.05, and as the Euro USD is trying to regain its levels, which were not really seen in last couple of months. We have this change, or you can say a turnaround in momentum. So for today's session, of course, the momentum is bearish for the dollar against almost all of the currencies. Of course, there can be exceptions, but major currencies are gaining ground against the dollar. So all we have to do is figure out which one is the strongest and which one is the weakest in terms of the bullish momentum in respect of its movement against the dollar. So let us now see what the price data is telling us. For Euro USD, the high came in quite early at 7:05 GMT, and after that it didn't really correct much. It had gone fairly close to this 4 hourly low, and from those levels the rebound has been rather sharp. Now, if we take into account the price action of other currencies, we had 4 hourly low being made in case of AUD USD. So that means Euro USD is much more stronger in terms of its bullish momentum, as it is not correcting much and its correction has been rather shallow. And after that, this jump happened. But Euro USD is likely to keep these gains. It is probability its probability is higher compared to the AUD USD. So even if we want to go for any trade later in the day, we will have to give a first preference to the Euro USD rather than AUD USD if you are betting on the continuation of the bullish momentum in these currencies against the dollar. Now let us compare it to other important currencies, other important and major currencies. GBP USD, GBP USD seems to be on the much stronger footing even compared to the euro. It made a 4 hourly low quite early in the day at 3:20 GMT. After that, there was no looking back, and it continued to gain the ground with a jump of almost 200 pips in today's session. So that's quite remarkable turnaround story for the GBP which is now again climbing back towards psychological important level of 1.20. So it will be interesting to see how the day closes for GBP. But as of now, the momentum is clearly bullish and it seems to be on the stronger footing compared to even euro. So far, we have considered three currencies, and the GBP seems to be strongest of the three. And now coming to the NZD USD. NZD also made its 4 hourly high quite early at around the same time as GBP, and here also there has not been much of an looking back. It did made this 2 hourly low and was quite close to 4 hourly low, but then there's again upward momentum kicked in. So here the NZD seems to be stronger than the Euro USD but weaker than the GBP USD. So the GBP still remains the best bet for going long against the dollar. The USD CAD also showing similar momentum. The USD has been on the back foot and CAD has continued to gain in momentum. So here we have these USD CAD's price formation, which is suggestive of these strength, continuous trend in the CAD. But if we look at this chart, it had corrected to larger extent compared to other currencies, and because of that, I think we should be wary of any long trade in CAD. If you want to short the USD, then GBP USD for that matter looks a much brighter bet. But as and when the signs emerge of a possible turnaround, then I think USD CAD should be given a first preference. Whenever you feel that dollar has weakened too much and some correction is a possibility, in that kind of scenario, the USD CAD can be taken into consideration for possible scalping trades or reversal trades. The USD CHF is also in a similar trajectory, and it made its 4 hourly high quite recently. So the strength of the CHF has been wanting, and it is not that strong compared to other currencies. Let us consider the USD JPY. The USD JPY is actually much more stronger. JPY has been much more stronger compared to other currencies which we saw where the USD is the first currency. So for a trade to be taken in USD JPY, I think the preference should not be given to it as it went on to make its 4 hourly low quite late in the day, and then this correction was also of quite recent vintage. So as a result of that, the GBP USD seems to be the best bet for any continuation of the trade, and USD CAD seems to be the best bet for any reversal of the trade. So here, if we look at the price action data and if we take into account the price formation, then the momentum is clearly bearish. We have kind of strong deviation from these average prices of last 12 as well as 24 hours. So we can expect some correction or consolidation moving forward. But at the moment, after the release of data, the momentum is strongly against the dollar. So we will have to be careful while going for any against the trend trade. Rather, it should be a better idea to stick with the trend and only after do consolidation later in the day, if it happens, we can be in position to then go for scalping trades. But right now, things are pretty much against the dollar, so that's something which we can keep in mind and then try and keep looking for the trades which are in favor of the trend, which are in line with the trend. Okay, so here the same story for almost all of these currencies against the dollar. The AUD USD, as I said, seems to be on the weaker footing. So here, after this high, it has corrected to the largest extent, and it is not much far off from this 12 hourly average price, whereas in other currencies, the deviation is quite strong. Here, in case of GBP USD, there is large deviation from its 12 hourly as well as 4 hourly average price, and a similar story is there for other currencies, but not CAD. CAD, as I said, is going to be the best bet for the possible reversal in the sentiments with the dollar. Whenever the momentum fades, the bearish momentum fades, we can then go and start looking for opportunities in the USD CAD for a possible reversal. Now moving on to the equity space, the Dow Jones Industrial Average has continued to gain ground, and this today's price action data is telling us that the European trading session was rather flat for the Dow Jones Industrial Average. It didn't really move much. It was trading close to this 12 hourly and the 24 hourly average price, and then it gained ground and jumped on the higher side. Now as we speak of, it is still climbing and has gone on to make the fresh daily high for today's session. So it will be interesting to see how things shape up as we are now getting close to the start of North American trading session. So here the case is clearly is in the favor of the bulls. So that is something which we have to keep in mind. And when it comes to figuring out which is the instrument which is likely to have higher probability of getting the assessment right, then in that sense we do have to take into account the relative and correlation data. So for S&P 500, the momentum seems to be much stronger on the bullish side compared to Dow Jones Industrial Average. So here we had the Dow, all right. So the Dow Jones corrected, and from there on, it went on to make these 4 hourly high. And for S&P 500, the correction didn't really unfold. It corrected, but the correction was rather